Hello, my friends, and welcome to another episode of Unlimited. In this episode, I am sharing another coaching session where I speak with a married mom of two kiddos who is a multi-passionate entrepreneur working with her husband in their business together. She signed up for this session because she wanted to create something new in her business, step into a new space, and while she was super excited about it, she was also feeling overwhelmed by all of the ideas and not sure where to start. We explore shiny object syndrome, what to do when you know it will work out because it's worked out before, but you're still having your focus pulled by fear, how to create a sense of stability when you're starting something new, and finding your next right step. There are lots of awesome nuggets to pull from this session that I know you will find helpful, and I can't wait to share them with you. So without further ado, let's get started. I like to start off with a question to check in and kind of get a sense of where we're going. If this session is successful, if you come away from it with some sort of aha that helps you, what would you say had happened?
So I'm one of those people that has just like all these ideas. I have all the ideas. I just call myself an idea person. So if I could just get somebody to be like, yeah, that's what you should go for. Get rid of all that other stuff. Let's focus on this. That's what I need. I need somebody to inform me of where to go.
Mm-hmm.
I've got
Okay.
too many ideas. Too many.
Okay. Well, so you're going somewhere. You know you're
Mhm.
going somewhere.
Yes.
When you stop and you
Mhm.
look around, what do you want it to look like when you get there?
Are you talking physically or mentally?
Both, potentially.
Um, that's a great question. That is a great question. My whole goal with what I'm doing now and what I'm trying to, maybe I should start from the beginning. I do brand photography and I want to also teach other brand photographers, right? So I want to combine those two. And that's, to me, it's a combination that makes sense because it's two different ideal clients, obviously, but at the same time, it's incorporating everything that I know. Like I really do know brand photography. That is my thing. The problem for me is all these other little things keep creeping in like, oh, but you could also do this because this is fun and you also like to do this. But what I really, really want is just I want that core brand photography, just brand. I'm my own brand. So I want that to be my end or I guess my middle. It's not my end. Nothing's my end until the end.
There are no happy endings because
There are
nothing
not.
ever ends.
That's true. Nothing.
Favorite quote, The Last Unicorn.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think what I truly, truly want. And I know deep down inside that that's what I need to focus on. And that's what I want to focus on. But I have a hard time with all the little stuff that keeps creeping in that's like, oh, hey, but you could also do this. Hey, let's do this over here. Hey, here's a distraction. Here's another distraction, But I know that that's what I want it to look like. I want this just like that is my specialty. That is what I want to be an expert in
Okay.
and an influencer in, shall we say.
So in brand photography, both creating it and teaching it.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Awesome. So I know that you said the shiny object syndrome is
Mhm.
there as far as
Real.
like, okay, you know what you want, you know the core of what you want.
Yes.
What pulls you away the most?
I think even worse than the shiny object syndrome is like I don't know where to start to build the coaching brand photography part. Like I already have my brand photography business established here. I know what I have to do to build it back up in the new state I'm moving to. I know that already. but it's the online part that I told myself last year when we went under quarantine, I was like, okay, this is my chance to focus on it. This is my chance to focus. And I kept losing the focus because I was like, okay, but where do I start? Because I have so many different things. Like, where do I find the people? I know who they are, but where are they? That kind of thing. So I think that's where I lose my focus the most, is like just figure out one thing to start with instead of all of the 20 things that I know that I can do. That's my problem always, forever and always.
Okay. Yeah, no, absolutely. That makes sense. And there's a lot
Mm,
of input from a lot of people that say, do it
yes.
this way, do it that way. And
Mhm.
especially if you've ever tried to do it somebody's way and it hasn't worked the way you expected,
Absolutely. Yep.
it's natural to have resistance to starting
Mhm.
something. So I'm going back to what you said. The goal is to do the photography, the brand photography, and to teach it.
Mhm.
If you were recognized as an influencer in that space and you were actively doing that work, what would that look like in your life?
Just stability and not needing to. I feel like this year in 2020, I did really well after I went back to doing photography because I had to stop for 3 months because everything was shut down.
Mhm.
But once I took sessions again, I was fine. The problem for me is I feel like I think it's just deep down inside. I know that, hey, you're not going to have anybody when you move. So you're going to have to literally fight to get clients. But then I know that I don't have to fight to get clients, but my brain's like, you're going to have to fight to get clients. But like, I know everything I need to do. I'm just distracting myself and losing my focus every other day. And it's just painful.
Mhm. Okay, so that's interesting. You just said your brain wants to say, you're going to have to fight to get clients, but
Mhm.
you know you're not going to have to. You know what you need to do, but you just told me
Exactly.
you didn't know what you needed to do.
No, I mean, I don't know what I need to do for the brand photography coaching part.
Okay.
Like, I don't know what to start there. With my brand photography, where I actually photograph people, I know what I need to do, and I know it'll be no time before I build that back up.
Okay.
But the part that I wanted to really build up to is that online part. That kind of, I had it in my head, if you build up this online part, you're not going to have to stress as much about building your photography part back up. So I could do that more organically instead of like, hey, book me, ha ha ha, that kind of thing. So I know, which I never do. Like, I'm not a salesy salesperson. I just basically show up and things happen organically, and it's always been that way for me. But I think it's just that fear creeping in from, like, you are literally starting over, Nicole. You're
Yeah.
starting over
Okay.
completely.
So, but I'm wondering, how true is it that you're really starting
It's not. See,
over?
my brain
Okay.
hates me. It's not.
No, your brain has some stories attached to
Yes.
certain situations
Mhm.
that were really hard for you.
Mhm.
And our brains are wired to protect us from pain. And so it's
Absolutely.
normal to have stories pop up to try and keep you safe
Mhm.
because our brain processes emotional pain in the same place it processes physical pain. So it's like,
Makes sense.
so that's normal. I'm wondering, the one thing that you said as you were saying what you would want it to look like. You already have all of the things.
Mhm.
Stability is
Mhm.
the big thing. And
Yeah.
I'm wondering, since you're moving, if that lack of stability in your space maybe playing into the focus being drawn to protect yourself around the lack of stability in moving.
Mhm. 100%.
And so if you knew that you were going to be okay, that it's just the moving part, it's just the upheaval of stuff moving around, but
Mhm.
everything else is going to be okay, how would you feel?
That's the thing. That's the exact thing, is that I know it's going to be okay. But because of just everything that's led up to this point, all of the actual instability that I've experienced over the past 6 years, it's there. It's just there. And I've been working really hard, and I pop in and out of it still, but I used to be a lot worse. And I know that I always work everything out. I always do. I just do. And I know that to be a truth, but it still creeps in sometimes. Like my husband's stable right now with it. He's got more than enough contracts to keep us floating. But I still I have this deeply rooted, I have to contribute because I didn't contribute for so long. Then my husband lost his job and it was only me. And then I had to, I hustled through that time. He was out of work for 19 months and he was depressed and all this stuff. And it caused all this. I've had therapists actually tell me you have PTSD from it. And it still just, it creeps in every once in a while, even though I know I'm like, I've got this. I've always come out on top. I've always fixed things. I've always worked things out, and I've always ended up how I'm supposed to end up, but it's still there. Every once in a while, just not always.
Totally
Mhm.
understandable. It's
Yeah.
very common
Mhm.
when we've had traumatic situations.
Yep.
And it makes sense also that when I ask you about where you're going to be and how you'll feel, you're automatically going to the fear
Yep.
because it's the way our brain is wired, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
So let's circle back to that though. If you take a moment, maybe close your eyes, take a deep breath, imagine that you are in that space. You have moved. The space around you is organized and put together. It's beautiful. You feel comfortable. You feel stable. You are doing work you love. You are doing the brand photography. You are teaching others how to do it. How do you feel in this space?
That's exactly where I want to be. Comfortable, happy, fulfilled, stable. I always go back to stable.
Uh huh.
And it's not just it's not just like financially stable. It's like I feel like I am making a difference because that's all I really want to do. And it's not, obviously money is, you need money to survive, don't you? But that's just like a small part of it. I feel, I physically and like deeply feel like I am meant to do something big, and I can do something big, and I just need to focus and like shoot the fear in the face.
So comfortable, happy, fulfilled, making a difference.
Hmm.
I'm wondering what you see as your strengths.
I'm a people person. I think I'm very good at communicating things that people need to do, not necessarily need to do. That's probably the wrong way, but I'm one of those people that when you're talking coaching wise too, you see all these coaches and they're like, do this. This is the right way to do it. Do this. This is the right way to do it. Do this. And this is how I made all my money. And I'm more of that person. I'm more of the person that's like, I tried this and it worked really well for me. It could work well for you, but it's not a one size fits all. And I think I'm I'm very good with people in that aspect. Like I don't sugarcoat anything. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. It's not all successes and yay, we're so great. There's lows to everybody's life. And I think that is why people are drawn to me. Like I'm gonna guess that's why. And I don't know. I've just always been business minded. I've always known that I shouldn't be, stuck in this box. I need to help other people. And that's really what I want to do.
Okay. So you're a people person. You're really good with communication. You're straightforward and you're
Hmm.
caring. What's worked really well for you in the past when it comes to getting started with something new?
If I have a plan for myself and I write everything out, I think writing things down and structuring things and creating outlines, that's how I thrive. Like I need to have a direction and a plan I can't just wing things. But at the same time, I'm one of those people that if I think I need to do something and something comes in and it feels good, I do it. I don't sit around and wait, but then it's so weird. It's like, it feels like it's opposite. But if my gut says do it, I just do it. And then I plan it out. Like, that's what I need to do. Like, this is what I'm doing. And here's how it's going to happen.
So I'm hearing you kind of get an inspired direction and then you outline your
Mm-hmm.
steps.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good way to put it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Instead of I'm just random and opposite.
No, I mean, it doesn't sound opposite or I think that's a social construct that intuition and acting from inspired intuitive senses is disorganized and not as desirable somehow. I mean, it's much more of the feminine space. So, naturally we
makes sense.
don't value it as much. But yeah, so you take inspired action. What does your intuition say when it comes to getting started?
For the coaching thing, it's my intuition's like, why aren't you doing it yet? It's almost like I feel like I've put a block up for myself that's like, oh, but you can't really start it until you move. And even though I know I can start things now, it's just I need to figure out what the heck I'm going to start with. So like this week, for example, I was like, okay, I need to create a freebie. Cool. That's what everybody else says to do. Create a freebie. And I wrote a list of like 10 different things I could do. And I'm like, why don't I just do all of them? And then the other side of me is like, you can't do all of them. Why would you do all of them? That's too confusing. So like, it's almost like I'm battling with myself and it's preventing me from starting.
I'm wondering what I feel like there's a should in here. Like there's something that you're blocking yourself with. This is the way you're supposed to do it to be stable, and you know better. So you're blocking yourself because of that. And I'm wondering if you thought of like, okay, I'm a people person. I love communication. I love being straightforward with people. I want to make a difference and help people do this thing I know how to do. And I feel like there's a piece here missing, and that is, what do you want your experience of doing it to be like?
I think the just all the confusion around, oh, if you want to build a successful scaled business, this is what you need to do. And I know that it's not true because there's no one size fits all solution for it. And I know that, okay, just like saying that, oh, I need to create a freebie because that's what everybody does. Everybody creates a freebie and that's how you build your email list. And then deep down inside, I'm like, do I need to build an email list? Like, do I really? Like, everybody says to build an email list, but I know personally that when I open emails, like when I open my email in the morning, guess how many I read? And it's the same with a lot of people. Like, a lot of people say the same thing. Oh, I barely read any of my emails. I subscribe. And so deep down inside, I'm like, do I need to build my email list? Do I need to create a freebie? Can I just do it a different way? Because I've seen people grow things in a different way without doing it that step by step by step.
Well, let me jump in here and circle you back around to, if you were doing this, say you were already doing this, what do you want your experience of doing it to be like?
I want it to feel easy because I know it can feel easy. I know that I can help people and I know it'll be extremely fulfilling.
So when you're talking to people about what you're already an expert in, you already know how to do brand photography, you're already very good at this, and you have a business that's running well off of this, and you're talking to somebody about doing it, what feels easy about that?
Everything about brand photography feels easy to me. Like, it's just, and I see so many people doing it in a way that's not as in depth as I do it, if that makes sense. Not saying that I'm the best at it, because I'm not. I never feel like I'm the best at anything. But knowing that I've like taken these extra steps to like go really in depth when it comes to brand photography, and knowing that I could help other people be that kind of photographer, that feels the easiest to me. Like I could talk about it all day.
Okay.
And that's, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
So you could talk about it all day. So how
Mhm.
would you want to share with somebody about it?
What I want to do is I want to help people build their business. So I want to help them not just build their own brand, but help other people create images that help their brand recognition as well. So I think a lot of brand photographers, because I did this in the beginning too, I focused more on my work than I focused on the me side of it, which I should have focused on that from the beginning. But hey, trial and error. See, that's why like I have to do things before I help people with them. I can't just say like, "Oh, this worked for somebody else." Um so I knew from the beginning, or I knew that I should have done that from the beginning. And now that's what I want to help people with. Like, you need to focus on that part of your brand instead of just, here's my work. Don't hide behind your work. And I think that's what I really focus on when I haven't helped another brand photographer yet, but I've helped a boudoir photographer and a children's photographer. But I want to do brand photography only because that's what I know the best.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you know what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what you're good at. What feels easy when it comes to sharing that? Like you've already worked with people before.
Mhm. It feels easiest to create content around it, like to share videos and stuff like that. Like that's what I've been focusing on, is writing scripts for videos to like talk about certain points and stuff like that. Um just the informing way. I'm an informer. I'm a manifester, so that's what I do. I inform.
Okay.
Um yeah.
So it feels easy to do the videos
Hmm.
and
And the
teach
content.
what you know and do the content. That feels easy for you.
Hmm.
How much do you enjoy doing that?
Oh, 1,000%.
Okay.
I love it.
How much are you inviting people to a next step with those videos?
I'm not.
Oh, okay.
Not yet. Yeah,
What do
I
you
just
think?
started building my Instagram for that. That's why I'm like, that's why I was like, what's my next step, and inviting people to the next step. Like that's where I'm stuck.
Okay, so what do you want the next step to be?
Coaching, like
Okay.
one-on-one coaching.
What
But
does
then at
that
the
look
same time,
like?
I'm like, is a group coaching thing better? Like that's what I go back and forth. Like, do I work with people one-on-one? Do I coach them in a group?
Well, how much do you like working with groups?
Probably, I don't know. I think I would like working one-on-one more with people,
Okay,
because I
well,
can
what do you think about
focus
starting
more.
there?
I'm like, but how do I get people from my content to working one-on-one? That's where I'm stuck.
Well, what works for you getting people from your content to working with you as a brand photographer?
I think referrals. Yeah, I've never paid for advertising or anything like that. Like I've never gone the whole, here, join my email list and download this freebie thing, and I've never done it that way. I've always just grown it organically, like one person tells one person, that kind of thing.
Okay. So, what I'm hearing within this is you enjoy creating content and sharing it. That's a place where people can get to know you,
Hmm.
get to see what your knowledge is and how you work. And then referrals from other people saying, "Hey, I know the person that you should talk to
Hmm.
for this. You can check out her stuff." And then your stuff says how to connect with you.
Yep.
What do you think about doing that?
See, I think my brain says, oh, it's so much easier to like refer somebody when you've got a photo to show them, that kind of thing. And I think it's the social proof aspect. It's like, okay, how do I show people without having coached another brand photographer? How do I show them that I can coach a brand photographer, besides here's the work that I've done and here's what I've accomplished and all that stuff? Do I just find somebody and do it for free, or
What would be most fun for you to do?
I like the hands-on stuff. Like I enjoy actually teaching someone what they need to do.
Okay. So when have you done that before?
I've only done that with the boudoir and the family photographer.
Okay, but you've done it before, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And you've done brand photography before.
Mm-hmm.
So you have
Lots.
two basic pieces of credential. You do brand photography, that's your thing,
Mm-hmm.
and you've coached other photographers.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have both pieces, you just haven't put them together yet.
How do I do that?
Okay, so this is
I
this
don't
is
know.
the thing. This is the thing that's coming up because I'm hearing you the how. How do I?
Mm-hmm.
How is a space of overwhelm?
Mm-hmm.
When you say how, your brain is automatically going, I don't know.
Yep.
So, what would you like to be your next step? Knowing what you know, knowing that you are a people person, you love communication, you want to do hands on, you're really good at brand photography, you've already coached people before, you like making content. What would be the most fun way of bridging the gap?
I need to create content more, and I need to create a call to action on every single post. Even if this is what I tell everybody. Doesn't matter if one person or 2,000 people are watching you, still go for it. So that's what I need to do.
Okay.
Take my own advice.
All right. You're going to take your own advice. You're going to create content because you enjoy doing that. It's going to be fun
Yes.
anyway to do
Mm-hmm.
that. And you're going to make sure there's a call to action. I would also like to encourage you, since referrals are the main way that you've gotten business before,
Mm-hmm.
and thinking about this idea of stability, those people that you've worked with are already there and your skills are already there. Their knowledge of your ability is already there. What do you think about reaching out to them and letting them know about what you're stepping into, branching into,
Mm-hmm.
and asking them for referrals?
Like people that I've photographed saying she knows what she's doing type thing.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Or asking them saying, "Hey, I'm making this pivot. Do you know anyone?"
Yeah. I feel like this whole time I just I didn't even think of asking photography clients to vouch for coaching. I just thought like, hey, they're testimonials for photography, not for coaching, but that makes sense.
Well, the kind of coaching that
Breakthrough.
you're talking about doing is basically helping people do what you've done for these people. So they
Yes.
know that you've done it.
Yes. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they can say, yes, she's done it. And while they may not be able to say, then she knows how to teach it,
Mm,
that's not necessarily what people are looking for. And if you have the testimonials from the other people who you've taught before,
yeah.
and people can see that you do teach in your content,
Hashtag breakthrough.
yeah.
That's the moneymaker right there. You know what? That's it. That's it. I think I was hung up on the fact that I didn't have actual social proof in the specific coaching thing that I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's understandable. Again, we just looked at where's the instability,
Mm-hmm.
which is the social proof that you've done that exact thing. And we've
Yep.
taken the things that you do have stability in
Mm-hmm.
and brought them together.
Damn, you're good.
Yeah.
She's like, I know.
Yeah, well,
That's perfect.
Yeah. Oftentimes we try and put ourselves out into this space that is not stable, that feels like we're not connected to it. It's this like
Mm-hmm.
mountain we have to climb.
Yeah.
But if you're building steps from the places that you're already familiar with, like just one step up from what you already know, and
Mm-hmm.
pulling in the things that you enjoy doing, the things that help you manifest, like you already said, I manifest stuff, I'm inspired to do things. Pull in that inspiration and the things that you enjoy doing and create the stability by only stepping one step
Mm-hmm.
instead of trying to
Yeah.
leap to the top in this like unknown space.
That's my downfall is always that.
You're not alone. I mean, that's it's very normal to have that happen.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Okay. So, your next step is to create things as you feel inspired because you enjoy creating stuff to share on social, making sure that you have a place where people can take action,
Yep.
a way to get on a call with you, and then sending out some emails or messages to people that you have worked with as a photographer, as a brand photographer, and saying, hey, I'm going to start teaching people. Would you or someone you know like to learn from me? Would you be interested?
I'm taking notes.
And just invite them to share, which is where you say you get your most clients from anyway.
That's 99.9% of my clients.
There you go. Okay. So you got your plan. You're going to connect with people, reach out for referrals for this new thing you're starting. That isn't that new. It's just the natural progression.
Just feels new, even though it's not.
And well, you're incorporating two things you enjoy doing, brand photography and helping people and teaching things. So you've got your sharing, you're reaching out for referrals and making sure that you have a way for people to take another step to talk to you.
Yes, that's
which will be incorporated both in the reach outs for referrals and in whatever you share.
Nice.
Okay.
See, that's what I needed, a plan.
You got a plan.
I got one.
You got a plan. So when are you starting that plan?
Today.
Okay.
You're like, that's the right answer.
Today. Actually, well, it's having a reasonable approach that you know you can accomplish so that you're continuing to feed your confidence in doing it. So we deplete our confidence when we say we're going to do something and then we don't do it.
Yeah.
We poke holes in our confidence. So what's a reasonable next thing for you to do to get this ball rolling?
Yeah. So just do it. Just send some messages out.
Okay.
That's what I'm going to do.
All right.
I'm going to write a list because I like lists.
There you go.
I love lists. That's what I got to do.
All right. Awesome.
Wow. Look at you. Look at you. That's awesome.
There is nothing quite so frustrating as knowing that you are standing in your own way, seeing what you are doing and how your brain is doing jumping jacks to keep you stuck, and yet not knowing what to do about it and still being stuck in the cycle. It's like you can read the label on the box that you're in. You can see through it. It's like a jar and you can see through it and you can make out the words, even though they're backwards. You can make out the words, but you can't seem to change the label. A lot of people talk about this as connecting their head and their heart. Like they know better, but they can't seem to get to the space of doing it differently. One of the things that I absolutely love helping people do is engaging holistically with what you have in your head, but bringing it into being so that you can actually take action and move forward and create what you want. It's just the coolest thing because y'all are creating cool things. And just like this woman, you want to make a difference, and I want you to make a difference. We need you to make a difference, and I am here for that. I have not previously offered one-off sessions before. I have always said that a package is way more effective. We can get more sustainability in the process and all of that, but these women have changed my mind because of the amazingness that they have brought to these sessions. I have decided to offer one-off sessions. There's a link in the show notes for you to sign up if you would like one of these sessions. I'm also including a link to apply for a free session that will be recorded for this podcast. So check those out if you would like what you have heard on these episodes. There are more to come. I'm super excited to share them, and I'm super excited to connect with you. I would love to hear any nuggets that you have taken away from listening. You know I love to hear from you. Talk to you next week. Thanks for listening. I so appreciate you being here. If you got something out of today's episode, please share it. Leave me a review, take a screenshot, and post it on social with a shout out to me. Send it to a friend or, all of the above. Want to hang out more? Join me on Instagram. Or better yet, get on my mailing list to make sure you don't miss out on anything. And remember, your possibilities are as unlimited as you are. Allow yourself to shine, my friend. The world needs your light. See you next time.